Petr Yan has restored order in the 135-pound division. Thank fucking God, dude. Oh my God. I've never been so happy at the end of a pay-per-view. I don't think I've ever been that ecstatic before. I know in my prediction video, I did say if Petr Yan did win, it was going to be a violent night of celebratory drinking for me.
If Petr Yan wins this, I worry for my physical health because I will be celebrating with, I'm not kidding, maybe 40 beers in one night.
I cannot confirm nor deny whether or not that happened. All I will say is that the morning after, I wasn't feeling too hot. Petr Yan's the fucking GOAT, man. He's not actually. That's obviously, I'm stretching that a little bit. This win does put him second in the all-time bantamweight fighters. I think this puts him above Dominic Cruz, to be honest. At least in my opinion, I think so. I think that a 5-year gap of not having your belt and then getting it back in this kind of a fashion against the bantamweight GOAT is it's unheard of. That just doesn't happen. So, but I did want to talk about a few things in this fight that I noticed that Petr Yan did that other people hadn't done in the past, and it was things that were so niche, and in being so niche, they worked. And the first thing was whenever Merab chain wrestled and he got to Piotr's hips or he got to a body lock, Petr Yan immediately ran to the fence and started elbowing Merab in the forearm to loosen the grip and make sure that his forearms were tired so that he couldn't chain wrestle, couldn't throw him around with a body lock. He was literally elbowing him in the forearms. And you're probably looking at me like, dude, it's Merab. Like, really? You really think that elbows to the forearm are what's going to be affecting Merab's ability to win a fight? Yeah, I do. Because after every round, he's like wincing in pain, holding his forearms, walking back to the corner. And tell me how he shoots 30 takedowns and only lands 2 of them. So that was one thing I noticed. That, along with the body kicks, elbowing him in the forearms, and when he's not landing clean to the liver, kicking him in the forearms. Whenever he goes to the body, he's kicking him in the forearms. That's going to make his takedowns harder to land. His forearms are going to be fatigued and beat up. He's not going to be able to get a body lock up against the fence and just ragdoll you. He's not going to be able to whip down that single leg and throw you around. So there was that. Behind his jab, that was the most important thing that he brought to the table. And another thing was obviously the jab, as I just mentioned. His jab was disgusting. And Petr Yan throws his jab. Obviously, he has the high guard, but he also extends his lead hand, whether he's southpaw or orthodox. When he extends the hand, he uses a jab, and Ilia Topuria has shown this as well. I saw a video of Ilia Topuria talking about the way that he throws his jab, because a lot of people, they'll sit with a high guard, and then they'll go and extend their arm and jump and lunge in order to land a jab. Piotr's arm is already out there. All he has to do is use his feet and take a step forward, not move his hand, and the punch lands. So it's not like a complete overextension, and that's how he got it to land at will. That entire fight was, he wasn't overextending. When he needed to have a high guard and he needed to jab and slip off and dip low as he jabbed so that he could be ready for a double leg or a single leg or something like that, he didn't have to overextend and lunge in and throw a jab. All he had to do was just take a step forward, and if Merab shot, he was already there to sprawl because his hips don't have to lunge forward in order to land the shot. That obviously in Petr Yan's cardio was next level. I don't know what he did this camp. Do that every camp, Petr, and you will not lose. This lines up probably a Sean O'Malley and Petr Yan title shot, I'm assuming, with the way that the UFC thinks. Obviously, assuming that Sean O'Malley does beat Song Yadong in their upcoming matchup. I mean, Dana White is just seeing the money signs in his eyes. It's working out perfectly for him, so I'm assuming that's where they're going to go with that. And then I wanted to talk about this Pantoja thing as well. So Pantoja throws a high kick. It lands like partially, and he falls. And obviously, his arm snaps. Dana White, in the post-fight press conference, tells us that it's his shoulder.
Do you have a medical update yet on Pantoja? Do we know what his status is?
Yeah, they popped his shoulder back in. I thought it was the elbow.
I did too.
No, it was not the elbow.
Shoulder?
It was his shoulder.
Dana, I'm no expert, but that area right there is his elbow. So, hey, Dana, his elbow is snapped the wrong direction. I'm convinced at this point that Dana just doesn't watch the fights. His elbow's snapped the wrong way, man. What part of that looks like his shoulder to you? Maybe his shoulder did dislocate, but his elbow is going the wrong way, dude.
Given the way that thing played out, if he's okay, do you run that one back right away? Do you see what he's doing first?
I don't think he's, no matter what happens, listen, I'm no doctor or anything, but I don't see him coming back anytime soon. I think that there would be a defense before he comes back. I think he's going to need some time. And, the healing process and sometimes, or most of the time, I would say ligaments are worse than a break. He's got to come back from that, and then how long till he starts striking again and stuff like that. So, yeah, there'll probably be a defense before.
So basically, he starts off by saying, I'm not a doctor or anything, and then immediately in the sentence after that says, well, ligaments and stuff like this, and he tries to, explain to us.
Listen, I'm no doctor or anything, but it was not the elbow. Shoulder? It was his shoulder.
What? What the fuck?
Listen, I'm no doctor or anything, but the healing process and sometimes ligaments are worse than a break.
He just dismisses Pantoja completely. He's so eager to move on, and he's so eager to get this Taira title fight so that he can get the Japanese market. He's so eager to do it. If it was me, if I was the one calling the shots, I would say f the O'Malley fight, f the Taira fight, run back both of these fights. That's what I would do. I don't know. That's just me. Anyways, that's basically it. I didn't want to do a full recap of the event. I had a busy weekend, but it was a great event. Probably one of the better pay-per-views that I've seen this year, if not the best pay-per-view I've seen this year in terms of entertainment value. So I had a blast. I thought it was awesome. Yeah, Petr Yan is the man, and I love him. And I will be naming my child Petr Yan. I don't care if it's a boy or a girl. It will be named Petr Yan. Like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys per usual, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.